Tucker Carlson was stunningly canned without even a chance to say goodbye. What is the real story, and where does Fox News go from here? To discuss, here's Rick Smith.
Story of the day on the social medias. Fox News mouthpiece Tucker Carlson is gone. Off the air, gone, effective, I guess, immediately. Big shock in the Tucker world, but gone. And, the question that is now, on everybody's mind, oh no, now where's a nation going to turn for bull? Where are we going to turn for our daily gorging of misinformation, hate, and outrage? Where are we going to go? Where? I guess Americans are just going to have to figure out who they're going to hate themselves. No more Tucker to point you in that direction. And look, I've had a number of people reach out to me and go, do you believe all the horrible things? Do you think he was, the misogynist, the homophobe, the white supremacist, the fascist, all the things that they're saying? And I'm like, I don't care if you're knocking elbows with white supremacists. Does it matter if you believe it or not? You're a white supremacist. If you're knocking elbows with racists and homophobes and all of that, does it matter? Now here, I've always said that I believe it's worse to know better and do it anyway. Because I've had this come up a number of times. If they're a true believer racist, are they worse than someone who would pretend to believe it just for profit? I've always said that the person who knows better and still does it is much worse. And this is where I've always been. It's where I'm always going to be. So this is where we are. But does it matter, really? Does it matter to anybody? Now, the interesting thing is this was the top story in all of the places that I was paying attention to. And, Don Lemon got fired and, a whole bunch of stuff. And you go, does it matter? Because, the story that I was thinking about today is the 10th anniversary. The 10th anniversary of the Rana Plaza factory in Bangladesh collapsing and killing 1,143 people and injuring more than 2,500 others. I think it's the fourth or fifth worst disaster for working people on the planet. And it got no mention, really. Not that I saw. And this is one of those moments where you go, there are things that are important and things not so much. And I look at Tucker because, look, there'll be another one. Tucker is not, he's not irreplaceable. There will be, trust me, there will be someone in Tucker's spot. And yes, he will continue that person will spew the outrage, and that person will do all the things that have to be done to fleece the flock out of their money. It's that simple, because that's what it's all about. Rupert was right. It's not about red or blue. They don't care about your politics. They care about your money. It's about green. And while they're fleecing us and stealing from working people and doing more of this so they can divide us, we're not remembering where we are. And they're that's Bangladesh. That's their problem. Yeah, but we're part of that. Because they feed our market. We buy these things. We wear the clothes that are made by the hands that work in these horrible conditions. And we used to be a labor movement that believed in an injury to one being an injury to all. So when I see these stories and I remember these anniversaries, because we should be able to do better. We should be sharing wealth much better than we are. And yet what we've got a gazillionaire class. We've got a wealth class in this country that, second to none. And not just here, globally, we've got a lot of really rich people. And I've had conversations with people over the years who are like, if they earned it, if they worked hard, they should, they can have $1 billion. Which is why when I saw Jesse Ventura, and this is one of those, I like Jesse Ventura. I liked him as a wrestler. I liked him as a governor. But when I saw Jesse giving this spiel, I had to play it. Listen to Jesse Ventura.
There should not be one billionaire in America. None. And I'll tell you why. Because there is nobody that works hard enough to earn $1 billion. And my argument is this. The 2 jobs I did in my life that were physically the most demanding and mentally the most difficult that I ever did paid me the least amount of money. One was going through buds.
He talks about going through the military and how difficult that was. He starts to swear here, and I can't play the profanity, but he talks about going through the military and how little he was paid doing that. And again, we put those folks up on pedestals. They're heroes. We worship them and then pay them little. And they talked about working for the highway department in Minnesota with a 80-pound jackhammer, 40 hours a week, and challenging a billionaire to go, put your hands on a jackhammer 40 hours a week. Do an actual day's work. And this is where, when I saw this bit by Jesse Ventura, I'm going, this should be the battle cry of the working class in this country. Look, I want people to do well. I want them to lead good lives. But the fact that you're hoarding billions of dollars and then using it against working people is, well, it's disgraceful. So when I saw the CEO, and look, I've been talking about this forever. This is not new to any regular listeners. But when you start looking at CEO to worker pay being, 3, 4, 500, 1,000, 5,000 times what the average worker makes, there's a problem there. And this is where we should go, no, I'm sorry, you're not worth 1,000 times the person who actually does the work. So I saw this story over at the Detroit News. The CEO of Ford, this Jim Farley, they reported on his compensation package, which in 2022, he put in his pocket $21 million. And they said, well, that's 281 times what the median annual total compensation of all Ford employees is. And they said that the annual compensation of a Ford employee is about $75,000. A good, decent, working class wage. Good wage. You know why? The majority of them are represented by the UAW, by a union who demands, a little bit. And I'm going, but it's still 281 times. Does Mr. Farley, and look, I don't know Mr. Farley, but does he produce 281 times more value for Ford Motor Company than the person in the assembly line, the person who's painting the car, the person who's putting the bolts? Is he producing that kind of value? And the answer is no. I go back to, we've all heard the stories, back in the 60s, GM CEO made 20 times that of the average worker.